Did you find what you're looking for?
This regulator on leisurepro.com looks like the one I want, but I'm not sure how to adjust the airflow.
Look, they have a chat interface. You can talk to a dive expert 24 hours a day.
At leisurepro.com, you could get the product answers you need fast by chatting with our dive experts anytime.
The Florida Keys are home to a protected 2,800 square mile national marine sanctuary, an abundance of wrecks, and over 6,000 different species. But whether you're a diver or a snorkeler, there's always room for one more.
Be a part of Scuba Nation. Get your gear today. ScubaNation apparel by Uzi, available at ScubaNation.com.
This edition of Scuba Nation is brought to you by Leisure Pro, the Divers Emporium.
The Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. Sea Dog and Shipyard Ales, the official beer of Scuba Nation.
This time on Scuba Nation.
It's time for a little diving tour of the fabulous Florida Keys. We'll dive some of the primo sights from Key West and don't stop until we hit Key Largo. We'll see animals both big and small on reefs of all shapes and sizes. So it's time to dive the Conch Republic, this time on Scuba Nation.
Who is Scuba Nation? Billy C., Boston born and raised.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Hey, Billy C. would dive a puddle if it was deep enough.
Bitch and Mitch, Southern boy.
Diving's like pizza. When it's good, it's great, and when it's bad, it's still good.
Two ordinary guys with a thirst for getting wet and exploring all things scuba. We are Scuba Nation. One nation underwater.
Presented by Leisure Pro.
Welcome to Scuba Nation. I'm Mitch.
And I'm Billy Conch C.
And we are diving from Key Largo all the way down to Key West.
The Conch Republic has it all. Reefs, wrecks, animals galore like stingrays and moray eels.
So we're diving the Conch Republic, this time on Scuba Nation.
So first up on the Conch Republic diving trail is Key West.
Ah, the fabulous Florida Keys.
And below the water is some amazing dive sites. One of the most marquee dive sites in all the world for that matter is the majestic Vandenberg. Also in Key West are reefs. They have beautiful spur and groove formation reefs.
You know what? More than just the Vandenberg, which is a great dive in its own right, it's some of the gorgeous reefs that they also have down there.
The Florida Keys are one of only 3 living coral reefs. On our whole planet, there are only 3, and we're fortunate to have this right in our backyard.
Hey, hot snapper. Oh my God, he's a big boy.
Take a Caribbean island and New Orleans and put it together, you have Key West. Beautiful coral and over 6,000 species of marine life. Coral reefs are from sticking out of the water down to like 40, 60 foot. So it opens up an opportunity for all levels of divers. A lot of people come to the Florida Keys to learn how to dive.
diving in the Conch Republic. See the Vandenberg, but don't forget about the reefs too, because there's plenty to see down at Key West. So then just up the road, people say is one of the best reefs, and that's Looe Key.
Me and Mitch hop in the ScubaNation truck, head on up to Big Pine. And what does Big Pine have? Looe Key National Marine Sanctuary.
I got a Goliath grouper over here, brother, right under the boat. A Goliath grouper hang out at a dive boat before. Check this guy out. This is a nice way to start a morning of diving, huh?
These are the perks about living in paradise and having access to that reef every day. And our boat goes out there every day to Looe Key Reef Resort from Looe Key Reef Resort Dive Center.
First of all, there's a resident reef shark. Every time I've dove Looe Key, that guy's been there.
Got a moray eel over where I'm at.
That reef out there is the most active reef in all of North America. You will go out there, you will see fish swim right up under you. You'll see grouper, shark, tarpon, snook, just about everything, all within the finger's reach.
A lot of pelagics come into Looe Key.
Saw a flipping eagle ray. I mean, the first eagle ray I've ever seen. So I was just like thanking Billy underwater and said, man, this is going to be one of the greatest dives I've ever seen. So, I mean, it was like magical.
Hey, look at all these elkhorn. There's a lot of elkhorn here.
The beauty of the Florida Keys is, first off, it's extremely accessible. It's the islands you can drive to. The people can fly into Miami or Fort Lauderdale, grab a rent-a-car and drive down the Keys, which is one of the most picturesque American highways.
There's not a lot of other reefs around the area, so a lot of the fish use Looe Key as kind of like their magnet. They all kind of are drawn into the Looe Key Marine Sanctuary.
So the uniqueness is that every island has its own personality. We all have great fishing, we all have great diving, we all have great wrecks, but there's a little different attitude on each one of the Florida Keys.
Coming up next, it's time to hit marathon and a few big surprises.
Oh man, what a great dive. You know where we're headed.
The Rum Barrel offers the tastiest of Key West cuisine and ice-cold beer and spirits to wet any whistle. Divers, show your certification card and get 10% off any order. Dive, decompress, Rum Barrel, Key West.
Dive the Atocha with Mel Fisher's expedition in Key West. Be a treasure hunter and dive the active wreck site of the richest Spanish galleon ever discovered. Mel Fisher and his crew discovered the Motherlode in 1985. Today, the search continues for the remaining hundreds of millions of dollars in cargo. The Fisher family now invites you to learn proper salvage techniques from the world's greatest treasure hunters. Join us for the adventure of a lifetime. Today's the day.
Born in Maine. Created by Alan Pugsley, world-class craft brewer. Sea Dog, now sailing in Florida. And available in cans. Sea Dog is award-winning. A perfect fit for our Florida lifestyle. Visit our brew houses in Clearwater and Orlando.
This edition of Scuba Nation is brought to you by Reef Safe, biodegrades in oceans, non-toxic to sea life. Scuba Works, quality runs deep. And Spare Air, there when you need it.
Hey Scuba Nation, it's Mitch. I would like to introduce to you the new Oceanic USA product line. Patriotic product line includes 2 Vortec and Viper fins, both with open and closed heel options. 2 versions of the Ion mask are also included, along with the ultra dry snorkel, all of which can be packed away in the Oceanic USA mesh dive bag.
Through July, get 20% off any Oceanic item with the purchase of a USA product line set.
With the funding made available from the sale of the Oceanic USA product line, that helps their initiatives to get more of our veterans in the water scuba diving, which as a veteran myself is very moving.
Purchase your Oceanic USA product line by visiting leisurepro.com today. When Scuba Nation dives Looe Key, we go with Looe Key Dive Resort and Dive Center. The Looe Key Dive Resort is an old-style resort with the best accommodations in the lower keys, complete with their own tiki bar. Now under new ownership, the Looe Keys Dive Resort offers a full-service dive center with dive trips, boat rentals, and fishing charters. So book your next dive vacation with our friends of the program, Looe Key Dive Resort and Dive Center.
Scuba Nation, the 3rd tour stop on the Scuba Nation Magical Mystery Tour of the Conch Republic Diving Trail is Marathon, home of the 7-mile bridge. It's also home to Sombrero Reef.
And then you move down just a little bit further, maybe 1.5 miles, and you run into Sombrero Reef, which is, everybody raves about that reef. It's really, really pretty.
It was a crazy dive on Sombrero Reef. We saw 3 of these southern stingrays.
Take a quick ride out to Sombrero Reef and just really enjoy a full day of diving, because it takes a few days to see all of it. It's that big of a reef system. It's wide, it's huge, it covers so much area.
You've got at least 3 or 4 times you can go to Sombrero and not see the same thing.
It's also marked by the Sombrero Reef Lighthouse,
Which was the tallest iron structure before they built the Eiffel Tower, just a little FYI.
Sombrero Reef. It's sometimes overlooked. A lot of divers go from Key Largo, head straight to Key West to dive the Vandenberg and do the reefs down there. But this is a hidden jewel and a must-see to your diving experiences in the Florida Keys. A lot of these reefs, they can also get pretty shallow, so it's really great if you have family members that aren't certified divers. They can actually snorkel the top, about 5 feet of water, while you do your dives a little bit deeper.
The very far end of the island by a 7-mile bridge, which is a beautiful, very gorgeous shallow reef. That's where the Ivory Wreck is at, and that's a real nice little bunch of wreckage that's right there at Delta Shoal. Supposed to be hauling some ivory Although I've never found any. I think when they salvaged that wreck, they took the ivory off of it, and that's why it was called the ivory wreck. That was the originator of the wreckage that was there. And then, like I said, a couple schooners went down since then in the same spot and contributed to the wreckage that's on the bottom. So it makes a very interesting dive site.
So many of these finger reefs, the guys at Halls were telling me that, there's going to be these new dive for a number of years because it's just so sprawling.
The thing about Sombrero is the coral heads sit next to each other, but at the same time there's also little areas that open up, and you can kind of go in between those, and it sets a different pattern each time for the coral heads, so it's really a lot of diversity. There you're going to see a total variety of all your tropical fish, along with groupers and other fish. And as you move in, and we have tarpon occasionally come in on the reef. You'll have rays, and that was an interesting experience. So you can see a lot of variety of fish, big Goliath groupers, and a lot of different species of fish that keep you entertained with a lot of variety.
Man, one of my experiences that I had on Sombrero was seeing a Goliath grouper on this reef. We couldn't have been 10 feet underwater. We kind of just slipped up on them, so much so we startled them, gave us that big, Goliath grouper bark. It makes us it's kind of like a sonic boom underwater. It's so cool to experience.
The variety of diving here is just fantastic. Anywhere from, the deep wrecks, shallow reefs, deeper reefs, you name it, we have it.
You don't want to miss Marathon. You gotta catch it as you're diving the Conch Republic.
ScubaNation thanks our friends at Hall's Diving Center for another great trip to Sombrero Reef. Coming up next, it's time for a little faith, brains, and beauty. Stay tuned.
Bugfest by the Sea. This July 21st to the 27th at Lauderdale by the Sea. The Great Florida Bug Hunt Contest. 1,000 in cash prizes for the biggest bugs. Beachfront lobster cookout, live calypso music and beer. Bug hunting classes and tips. Mini season kickoff party. Bugfest by the Sea.
Hey honey, I'm on LeisurePro.com shopping for a new dive computer. I'm actually blogging with another diver that has the same one. Let me call you right back.
Have a question about a product? At LeisurePro.com, you can ask questions with other Leisure Pro customers about the products you want before you buy.
Sure.
Whoa!
When Billy C and Mitch finish our dives on Saturdays, we head on over to Tobacco Road
For all you can eat, dig in, and pig out barbecue.
Tobacco Road, Miami's oldest watering hole, is serving up
all you can eat barbecue.
every Saturday starting at noon. Divers, sea cards means no cover on Saturdays.
All you can eat barbecue every Saturday right here at Tobacco Road. One Nation, eating barbecue!
Our coral reefs have suffered a 90% loss over the last 20 years. Ocean temperature change combined with pollution has taken a serious toll. Ken Niedermeyer, a CNN hero and founder of the Coral Restoration Foundation, is changing that. Since 2004, the Coral Restoration Foundation has grown and planted thousands of new corals. His pioneering and proven methods are used both here and abroad, but Ken needs your help.
Visit coralrestoration.org. Donate now and make a world of difference for our oceans.
Hey Scuba Nation, this is Mitch. Just want to let you know when I dive the 305, I always dive on Aquatic Explorers. They feature a brand new dive boat with a crew that's second to none. So when you're ready to plan your next diving adventure, the best boat and crew for private charters, and all your certification needs by world-class instructors, please click or call the friends of the program, Aquatic Explorers. This edition of Scuba Nation is brought to you by Leisure Pro, the Divers Emporium.
Ocean-minded footwear. Live, protect, respect. Maris, the official equipment provider for Scuba Nation.
Welcome back. We're diving the Conch Republic, and our next stop is
Islamorada, our next stop on this wild tour. Davis Ledge, we're gonna hit hens and chickens. We're all a little bit different, all unique in their own way, but all great dives. Davis Ledge runs north to south. It's one of the most popular reef ledges in Islamorada.
One of the dives that I remember most was Davis Ledge.
Because the visibility runs through there beautifully from the Gulf Stream. Sand that comes up against this rock ledge. And in that rock ledge, you're gonna find morays, you're gonna find schools of tropicals, has amazing brain corals, visibility is terrific. Fish life has just blown up.
I'm passionate about Islamorada because it's like the adventure of the Keys. You're diving reefs that not many people dive. It's got some awesome reef structure in Islamorada too.
Cool thing about Davis Ledge,
the Scuba Buddha.
Yep, there's a little Buddha statue.
And the Scuba Buddha is sort of like a rite of passage if you're a diver.
He's on the south end of the reef system.
You got to go down and you got to rub the Scuba Buddha's belly, because if you do that, you have a lifetime of great diving.
So Scuba Nation, we're still here in Islamorada, and we visit hens and chickens.
Hens and chickens, awesome reef. It is a mound reef, okay? In other words, it's got all these huge coral mounds, star coral mounds there. Hens and chickens is spectacular. And swim through the coral mounds, tons of fish, everything from tarpon down to your littlest butterfly fish. So awesome reef. And like I said, summertime's the best time to dive hens and chickens. And if you get a chance to do it, I highly recommend it as one of the top spots to dive, especially here in the Upper Keys.
Islamorada, a must stop on the Florida Keys Conch Republic Dive Tour. Last stop on our Conch Republic Dive Tour is Key Largo.
Key Largo is the dive capital of the world. We have a plethora of beautiful fish, and it's just the most fabulous place to dive.
So today we visited two amazing reefs. First up was Dry Rocks. Dry Rocks is known for the Christ of the Abyss statue. Christ is staring up to the heavens. He is one with the environment. He's one with the reef. The fish are surrounding him. It's just a great visual, and it warms your heart to see that type of thing. The statue was actually first made in 1954 in Italy by a guy named Guido Galletti. He made the statue in honor of Dario Gonzatti, who was the first Italian to use scuba diving gear.
Dry Rocks is an area that is very good for divers and snorkelers. There's some very shallow areas that have a lot of elkhorn corals and things very close to the surface. There's a big brain coral that's the size of a Volkswagen.
You could come down and have some amazing experiences here in Key Largo. Up here in Key Largo, the dive capital of the world. This day when we went to Snapper Ledge, the visibility was outstanding.
Snapper Ledge is one of my favorite places. It really is. Literally hundreds, maybe 1,000 snapper just schooling all around you.
Fish life was all over the place. They had lettuce coral, they had a huge brain coral, probably the biggest brain coral I've ever seen. And it was just an amazing day out on Snapper Ledge.
This is one of my favorite residents of the reef, the nurse shark.
I love to dive. It's like the passion of my life. I mean, just the peace and the tranquility and the beauty of the reefs. Yeah, Key Largo offers a little bit for everyone.
Going from Key West up to Key Largo, hitting all these reefs, hitting Key West, Big Pine, Marathon, Islamorada, Key Largo. We hit it all. Come to the fabulous Florida Keys and enjoy this crazy diving they got down here in the Conch Republic.
Not too loud, not too loud.
That's hard to do for me, bro.
I know.
Boy!
You can put your glasses back on.
Yeah, I think I might have to done this one.
When I was a kid, which was only a few years ago.
100 dolphin are 30 feet off of the ship just playing. I mean, I could have charged so much more for that dive.
So support our heroes. Go to leisurePro.com and order your the Southern Boy angle. It's time for some Yardbird talk. The fabulous Florida Keys is our home field advantage.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Hey, it's Mitch with ScubaNation. If you're a parent of a child with autism like me, I want to tell you about a great organization called CARD.
CARD stands for the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities. Located throughout the state of Florida, CARD serves both children and adults who have autism or other disabling conditions and their families. Services are free of charge and include family support, consultation, and educational activities like the surf camp on Miami Beach.
For more information, you can call them at 1-800-9-AUTISM or visit their website at umcard.org.